Member for Fredericton Grand Lake.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There are roads in my riding being damaged by overweight log trucks, particularly Portobello Drive and McCoy Street. This issue had its beginning under the previous Minister of DTI, so if he has the answers to my questions, I'd be glad to hear them from him. A special permit was issued for the logging operation to haul on these roads. This permit specifically leaves out a cost for damages clause. Most extended permits like this clearly tell the contractor that the minister will come back to them to recover monies for making repairs to damage caused by the hauling operation. In this case, the permit has omitted this requirement. My question to the minister is, why was this requirement omitted?
The Honourable the Premier.
I'll let the Acting Minister of the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure get up in a second. Mr. Speaker, I just have to say, though, I have to point out how this was a great example of what the opposition is focused on. The first words out of the member opposite's mouth, Mr. Speaker, were roads in my riding. Mr. Speaker, we have serious issues to debate. At least we think so. The opposition wants to cry foul over the last few months about not having enough time in the legislature. And what is it, the fifth or sixth question starts off with roads in my riding? Mr. Speaker, we are at a crossroads here in New Brunswick. We have to grow the economy. We have to make the right fiscal choices to be able to ensure the next generation that New Brunswick will be on a strong footing to provide good health care and the best education system possible. To have the fourth or fifth question from the opposition start off with roads in my riding, again, is insulting to the people of New Brunswick, Mr. Speaker. I expect more, and so do New Brunswickers.
Member for Fredericton Grand Lake.
I'm defending my riding, Mr. Speaker, and that is insulting. And who's going to cry foul when it costs $300,000 to repair the damaged road in my riding? I have been given photographs of McCoy Street before this logging activity started and after. There is clearly damage being done to the street, and that damage will need to be repaired. If there is no requirement for the contractor to pay to fix the street, then it falls onto the taxpayers. That doesn't seem fair, and it doesn't seem responsible on the part of the Gallant government. I would like to know if there were any discussions of optional ways for this company to move their wood out, either waiting for winter to freeze the roads or building an access road. Was this ever suggested by the department?
Honourable Minister of Justice.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will answer the question for the Minister. I know what the member opposite is talking about. Usually, companies, when they haul wood, they ask for special permits when the road is not built for this weight to haul wood. But I know that the current transportation minister has said on the radio that when the contractor will leave your riding and the roads will be damaged, I believe that the minister already went on site, and he wants to make sure that when the contractor is done hauling the wood, they will repair the roads. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The taxpayers could be on the hook for hundreds of thousands of dollars in road repairs as a result of this issue. There are allegations of political interference in this file. Allegations of political interference are nothing new for this government. We all recall the patronage email scandal in November of 2014. So before they even got started, this government was implicated. What is the Premier prepared to do? Will the Premier make a commitment today to personally look into these allegations of political interference and take action if they prove to be true?
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, the information I have about this road, and I understand the member of that riding to want to defend her riding, but what I heard is that the road was in very bad shape before we took office. If it is an issue for her today, that the road should be repaired once the contractors are done, from what I've heard, that's what's going to happen. But what I find surprising, if that road was damaged beforehand, it wasn't in really good shape at the time when they were in power. So I would just want to make sure that when one of the issues when I was a minister and the previous minister was there, whether it be in a liberal or conservative riding or green riding, Mr. Speaker, we just want to make sure that the roads are in good shape and safe.